Hey guys, and welcome on into Getting Wild with Terry, free NHL picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down the slate for today. So happy that hockey is back. The last few days with having only basketball was absolutely dreadful. Okay, in the NHL, we do see teams, sometimes players are out with injury, and we don't know until sometimes close to game time. But the NBA having resting four of your top players for basically no reason, maybe because it's a back-to-back, is just dumb. So not a big fan of the NBA, not a big fan of NBA betting right now. Isaac says basketball stinks, and I totally agree. But that's why we're a hockey show, which is awesome. Best bet in reg is I'm guessing, Florida Panthers. We will get to that in a bit. By the way, only all-star goalie starting tonight. Wink, wink. All right. To that comment, the best bet leaderboard is starting today. At the end of the show, I will go through the rules and explain everything at the end of the show. But get your best bet ready. The odds have to be minus 150 or better. But we will go through that at the end of the show, and I'll go through the rules for the best bet leaderboard. But we'll jump into the NHL standings and kind of take a look at how things are looking after the All-Star break. Here, Carolina has moved up their lead here, kind of distancing themselves from the New Jersey Devils with an 8-point lead. New Jersey has 2 games in hand. The Rangers back there with 62. The Atlantic, nothing's changed. And really, with the way this is currently at, I think we could be looking at Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay every day for a long time to come. I don't really see too much changing in the Atlantic Division as of right now, at least. When it comes to the wild card, we have a race here. Washington with the first wild card spot, 60 points. Pittsburgh has the second with 57. Buffalo right behind them with 56. The Islanders right behind them with 55. So the Eastern Conference, the wild card race is pretty exciting here. When you look right behind the Islanders, 1 point behind them is Florida. They're totally still in it. Ottawa and Philadelphia, Detroit. Really, this Ottawa team, with how things are set right now, same with Detroit. If either of these teams go on a run, they can get themselves back into the race here, but they need to go on an extended winning streak. Philadelphia, 21-21-9. I said it on the surprises and disappointment show I did with Nick. The Philadelphia Flyers being 500 this far through the season, I definitely did not expect that this year. Montreal and Columbus kind of in their own spots at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Looking at the West, Dallas in first with 66 points, Winnipeg in second with 65, Minnesota rounding out third place with 58. But they have 4 games in hand on Winnipeg, 3 games in hand on Dallas. Looking at the Pacific Division, still wide open, anyone's game. Seattle and LA leading with 63 points, Vegas with 62. Seattle has games in hand on both teams. Looking at the wild card race, Edmonton in the top spot with 60, Colorado in second with 57. Calgary also has 57 points, but has played 2 more games than Colorado. Colorado also has more wins, but the wins in regulation is tied, including, and that's how the NHL has a bunch of different I'm forgetting the word I'm looking at, tiebreakers when it comes to making the playoffs. Calgary there, Nashville 3 points behind, St. Louis behind them, Vancouver, and then the bottom feeders of the Western Conference. We'll jump into the comments here. Let's go. Hockey's back. It's time to cash in on the ice. Yes, for sure. For sure. No NHL equals dreadful. Yes, it was a horrible few days. And then just to have yesterday it was an 0-3 day on my premium picks in basketball. I was not impressed. What's up, Terry? What's up, Kev? Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for smashing the like as always, Richie. Best bet ready. Awesome. Yippee. And hey, Terry. Hey, Crystal. Hope you are well. We will jump into the first game that we have to talk about today, and that is the Battle Florida, Tampa Bay Lightning, the Florida Panthers. You can get Tampa Bay anywhere from minus 120 to minus 130. Florida, plus 100 to plus 108. Home underdogs, 6.5, right across the board. This game ultimately I was leaning on passing. It was kind of not sure if I'm going to pass or if I'm going to take a side in this one. But ultimately, Tampa Bay, 6-2 in their last 8 games in Florida. They've won the last 7 meetings against Florida. They have played well against the Panthers, and that includes a 4-game playoff sweep last year. Florida had their best year in franchise history last year. Tampa Bay still dominated them throughout the regular season. Tampa Bay 8-2 in their last 10 games. Florida 5-2-2. Both teams heavily trending to the over right now. But when you look at what they've done against each other in the past, 6 of the last 7 meetings went under 6.5. 5 of the last 6 meetings went under 5.5. So when Tampa and Florida meet up, usually it's a lower scoring game, and usually it is kind of a close games. I'm not going to take an under 6.5 with the Panthers right now. They've gone over in 8 of their last 9 games. Tampa's gone over in 4 of their last 6. So current play, previous history are completely against each other when it comes to the totals in this one. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning on the road favorites here, minus 120. They've dominated Florida. Yes, we are coming off the All-Star break, so you are going to want to keep that in mind when placing bets. But I think we get a motivated Tampa Bay Lightning here. If this was Tampa against, let's say, Anaheim, then I would be treading very lightly with the Lightning, because right after the All-Star break, how motivated our team's going to be. I think Tampa Bay is motivated against their division rival, the Florida Panthers. So I like the Tampa Bay Lightning in this one. It's also a free play up on picks and parlays for me. I like the Lightning. IceX likes Florida and Reg, meow, and oh my gosh. All right. Bobrovsky will be in net for Florida. He has not played in a long time. It's basically been the Alex Lyon show. And now we'll have Bobrovsky making his return. I don't like that at all. His first return is against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I definitely don't like that spot for him either, for Bobrovsky. It'll be Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay. Going into the next matchup here, we have the New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers. You can get the Islanders minus 125 to minus 141. Philadelphia plus 105 to plus 117. 5.5s right across the board in this one. For me, this one, I'm taking the draw. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the Islanders in Philadelphia have gone overtime. It's been a very heavy overtime series between these two teams. And the under has been very heavy as well. 4 of the last 5 meetings in Philadelphia went under 4.5. 6 of the last 8 meetings went under 5.5. Islanders before the break, their last 3 games all went under 3.5, playing very low scoring games. Philadelphia went under 5.5 in 4 of their last 6. So yes, it's after the All-Star break. Yes, I'm not super excited to be betting an under after the All-Star break, but I like this under, especially at plus 100, plus 105. I think we get a lower scoring game that goes to overtime, something like 1-1 or 2-2. And I can't pick who wins. I would say that the Islanders probably win this one. It will be Varlamov in net against Carter Hart, but Varlamov has played pretty well as of late, so I'm fine with him being in net in this one. I'd actually prefer him over current play than Ilya Sorokin for my under, which is very surprising, but it is what it is. Current play, Varlamov has been better. So I like the under here, and I like the draw to go to overtime. Kev also, he likes Lightning -1.5. So not just the money line, he likes -1.5. Awesome. Isles -1.5 for Ice X. All right. Nicholas Paul, anytime goal scoring, +3 times 5. Not sure. Sorry, +325. Wow, that's pretty high. And then Kev likes Islanders money line. For me, I'm staying off props. I'm not touching props. The first game after the All-Star break, it's hard enough to know which teams are going to be motivated, but it's especially hard to know what players are going to be motivated after the All-Star break. So for me, I'm staying off props, probably for a few days at least, until I kind of see how things are going in this one. But I like the draw and the under in this one. Next up, Vancouver and New Jersey. You can get Vancouver +198 to +222. New Jersey Devils -225 to -270. 6.5s right across the board. In this one, Bo Horvat was traded in between the Canucks last game and this one during the All-Star break. That is sending a message to Vancouver players that the team is going to be rebuilding / retooling. They're not focusing on winning this year. I don't think that's a very good signal to send to the team. And the first game without their captain, they're going to face a team that has absolutely dominated them. The Devils have won the last 7 meetings at home against Vancouver. They've won 14 of the last 15 meetings against Vancouver, and that is going back to 2005, I believe. Let me get it up here just to make sure I'm right. Going back to 2015. So the last 8 years, the Devils have dominated Vancouver. It looks like it'll be Vanacek in goal for the Devils, which is great. Colin Delia for the Canucks. I like the Devils in this one. They went into the All-Star break 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. They were going to overtime quite a bit, but they already faced this Vancouver team, beat them 5-2 earlier on in the year. Vancouver, when they've been losing, they went into the All-Star break 2-4. All 4 losses were by multiple goals. I think this is a good spot for the Devils at home after the All-Star break against a team they've dominated, a team that is trending downwards after trading away their captain. I like the Devils here on the puck line. Devils money line, also a good parlay piece if you're looking for parlays. Over 6.5 and Canucks team total over 2.5 for Nick. All right. I like the over 6.5. I'm not sure about that Canucks team total though. I think it'll be I see a kind of a 5-2 game like the first meeting this year. Canucks money line for Ice X. Wow. All right. Devils puck line over 6.5. I like it, Richie. Don't trust Devils to win by 2 when all they do is go to overtime recently. Yeah, that was before the break. And it wasn't against this Vancouver team who loses by goals. So I like the Devils on the puck line. So does Kev. Awesome. Looking at the next game that we have here to talk about is the Calgary Flames and the New York Rangers. You can get Calgary anywhere from +104 to +110. The Rangers -120 to -120, -130. 5.5s right across the board. In this one, I don't believe we have a starting goalie announced for Calgary yet. It looks like it's going to be Markstrom, which this is the complete opposite of what I wanted for goaltending matchups in this game. I wanted Vladar against Igor Shesterkin, basically because Vladar has won his last 5 starts for Calgary, and Shesterkin has lost 3 of his last 4. I like Calgary in this spot. Halak has won his last 5 games in a row. He's in net for the Rangers, so I don't like that. And then Markstrom has lost his last 4 starts for Calgary. So I don't like that either. Recent play when it comes to goaltending, the edge definitely goes to the Rangers and Halak, which again surprises me. But I'm taking the Flames here. 5-0 in the last 5 meetings. They outscored the Rangers 24-6. They scored at least 4+ in all 5 wins. They weren't close wins. One of them was by 1, but otherwise they completely dominated the Rangers. Halak has played well. I did hope for Shesterkin, but how long is Halak going to be able to keep this winning streak going? We will see. But I'm still taking the Calgary Flames here at plus money, even though the goaltending situation is not what I wanted it to be. But I like the Flames as an underdog here. IceX is against me again. Whoa, against me on everything. All right. My Rangers minus 1.5 for him. Flames team total over 2.5 and the over 5.5 for Nick. Jake also likes the over 5.5. Richie likes a draw on this one, either 3-2 or 4-3. I like it. That could be a good look for sure. Under 5.5 for Ice X. No Swiss Durkin today. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But Flames money line for Kev. All right, and honestly, Nick, saying that about Shesterkin and then being on the over. If you were on the over, honestly, if you're looking at recent play, you would probably want Shesterkin to be in net because Halak has played very well. But obviously, I'm hoping that that ends after the All-Star break. Moving on to the second final game. Oh, oops. I'm sorry about that. Moving on to the second final game. And then we will get to the best bet segment. I'll go over how everything is going to work for that. But Anaheim Ducks plus 290 to plus 310. Dallas Stars minus 350 to minus 400. Sixes right across the board in this game. I'm not taking the Anaheim Ducks to win this game, no. But I am on Anaheim plus 1.5 at plus 130. Reason for Anaheim went into the break winning 4 of their last 5 games. Yes, 3 of the games were against Arizona twice and Columbus. But the impressive win against Colorado was also impressive. Dallas went into the break losing 3 straight games, all 3 to overtime losses. I do expect them to play better. Obviously, Dallas is by far the better team in this matchup. But I think the Ducks can keep this game within 1. I think this can be a closer game than the books are expecting. So to get a plus 1.5 at over plus 125, plus 130, I think Dallas is just too big of a favorite in this one. So I'm on the Anaheim Ducks plus 1.5 at plus money in this one. I think it's going to be a closer game. And wouldn't shock me if we had overtime in this one either. And I'm sure that's a very big plus price. Actually, we'll take a look at that here. Plus 450 to plus 430 for the draw. That's pretty crazy. But for me, it'll just be Anaheim plus 1.5. Richie likes Zibanejad and Dubé anytime goal scoring for that last game. Complete pass at this price, it's Ducks or nothing. All right. Richie says Stars, Terry. Jay Stone says 4-0 Dallas. Yeah, when Dallas has been winning, it's been by shutouts. Otherwise, if they have allowed a goal, they end up losing. So if you do like Dallas, I would kind of sprinkle something on the shutout there. Both meetings between the two teams this year, Dallas won at home. I think it was 4-0 or 5-0. And then Anaheim shut them out, shut the Dallas Stars out 2-0 in Anaheim. Terry betting this game, LOL. Yeah, I am. Ducks aren't scoring. Before the All-Star break, they were kind of lighting it up there. Obviously, not very good opponents, but they were scoring heading into the break. I mean hockey. All right. Ducks Stars over. Over 6, yeah. Not a bad look. We'll get into the final game of the night, and then we'll get to the best bet segment here. Minnesota Wild, Arizona Coyotes. You can find the Wild minus 222 to minus 235. Arizona plus 1 85 to plus 193. Sixes right across the board in this one. I'm going to the same pick that I am with the New Jersey Devils. I'm taking the Wild on the puck line here. Arizona, home away from home for the Wild. They've won 6 of their last 7 games in Arizona. They scored 4+ goals in all of their wins. And the last 5 meetings, they've won by 2 or more. So it hasn't been close games. When Minnesota goes to Arizona, you hear "Let's go Wild" chants pretty loudly. Obviously, now that it's in the University Stadium, it'll be interesting to see if that continues here, if all the Wild fans come out. But Minnesota has a fan base in Arizona. They play well against the Yotes. Yotes went into the break 3-12-1 in their last 16. Minnesota, kind of like New Jersey, though, has been winning games kind of close by 1 in overtime and stuff heading into the break. But this is the perfect opponent for them to get right. So I like the Wild on the puck line in this one. I want to take the Wild minus 1.5 so bad. Do it. I like it. A 1,000 unit whale play, mega lock, Wild money line. No way do they lose to the Coyotes. No, they did lose twice in the last 16 meetings against the Coyotes, so it can happen. But the 14 wins much make up for the 2 losses. Kev is favoring Wild money line. Yeah, for a parlay, I like it for sure. Eriksson Ek, anytime goal scoring, anytime goal scorer, I like that as well. The players he's been playing with, obviously, I think it's Hartman and Greenway are not really the best players to play with when it comes to helping offense. But Eriksson Ek is on the top power play. The Wild's power play has been hot. So I'd still like this bet because he's on that top power play. And someone's going to score on the power play for the Wild. Wild Yotes won't end by a 1-score game. It has in both meetings they faced each other this year. So it has been close meetings this year. Obviously, the one game, Fleury allowed 2 late goals, which was not too good. It was 4-1 and ended up being 4-3. But we will see what happens today. So I'll switch over to the other screen, and I will go over the rules for best bet. So obviously, best bet leaderboard starting today. Rule number 1, minus 150 odds or better. So minus 145 is great. Minus 160 is not. Has to be better than minus 150 for best bets. You can post your best bet after the show is done. Because first of all, obviously I want to thank everyone that watches the show live, but quite a few people watch the show when the show is done. So I am going to allow best bets to be posted after the show is aired in the comments on the YouTube channel. Everything has to be done on the YouTube channel in comments before or after the show is done. Best bets cannot be changed unless the show is still on. So if you post that your best bet is Wild minus 1.5, and then 2 hours before game time you decide that you don't want to bet anymore, you want to choose something else, you can't. It can only be changed when the show is still on. So if you make your bet and then 5 minutes later the show's still on, you want to change it, that is fine. Best bets must be one of the main 4 sports: NHL, NBA, NFL, or MLB, or any of the college sports. That does include baseball, hockey. Any of the main college sports are okay. Rule number 5, 2-team parlays are allowed for a best bet. So if you wanted to use a two-team parlay for your best bet, that is fine. And the last one, best bet standings are reset at the end of each month. So we'll kind of have our champion of best bets. They'll have their name on the spreadsheet, and it'll reset at the end of each month. So for my first best bet for the contest, I'm going to a 2-team parlay. Give me the Devils and the Minnesota Wild money line, the New Jersey Devils and the Minnesota Wild, both on the money line for plus 109. That is my first best bet in the on the spreadsheet. So I will bring it up. And New Jersey money line plus Minnesota money line, which you can get for plus 109. We'll go to the comments here. Jay Stone likes Minnesota first period, and then Minnesota to win in reg, which is plus 175. I like that. That looks pretty good. Get to here. For Nick, best bet is going to be Vancouver team total over 2.5. Is minus 130. All right. IceX is Panthers, so Florida in regulation. Odds for that. Who flip-flops, whistles innocently? Yeah, who? No, I'm kidding. Oh, shit. Best bet is Dougie Hamilton, anytime goal, or Richie. So, New Jersey, Dougie Hamilton, anytime goal, which is plus 280. Right. Jay Stone, and you're going to go Dallas first period and Dallas to win in regulation. So Dallas first period money line plus Dallas in reg, which is plus 135. Jay Stone. And then Crystal. Let's bet Rangers and Calgary over 5.5. All right, so minus 120. And then AJ's is going to go Tyler Toffoli, Calgary. I had to think for a second because I know he played a time in Montreal, and for some reason it was sticking in my head. But over 2.5 shots, which is minus 140. All right. So that is currently what we've got. All NHL plays, which is great. If you are watching the show after the stream is done, you still want to participate, put your best bet in the comment section. It's just for fun, so there's no money, like nobody's winning anything or anything. When the channel grows, we'll see once we hit 1,000 subscribers, and we'll see what happens then. But for now, it's just for fun, just to a little competition, something different for the show. But if you're watching the show after it is done, you can put your best bets in the comment section. I will check before the game start. But thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of Getting Wild with Terry, free NHL picks. Best of luck in your bets today, guys. Have a good one.